With her piercing but enchanting eyes and golden flowing hair, Katherine Denov has become a timeless symbol of French cinema. As the inspiration for renowned designers such as Yves Saint Laurent, she epitomizes timeless beauty in addition to elegance. However, what is hidden below that immaculate facade? A symbol of power who participated in contentious movements, a rebellious lover who was not afraid to defy all social norms, and a lady who lived her whole life balancing the bright limelight in the shadowy corners. What made Katherine Denov a legend was never well understood. In the face of stardom, how did she persevere despite sorrow and loss? Her 80-year odyssey is a mirror reflecting the intricacy and resiliency of the human spirit, not just the tale of a star. Let's enter Katherine Denov's mysterious universe, where light and darkness blend together to create stories of intense passion and a remarkable life. Born in Paris, France on October 22, 1943, Katherine Fabian Dak came from a family of well-known artists. She was raised with a passion for the arts by her parents, Renee Simono and Maurice Dak, both of whom were performers. Her mother had a successful career in theater and as a voice actor for Hollywood movies, while her father worked in radio and movies. The oldest sister, Francois Dak, was a gifted actress with a bright future. Katherine was the third of four sisters. Katherine's first artistic motivation was Francois, but Francois died in a terrible automobile accident in 1967, leaving Katherine's heart forever scarred with grief. Katherine used to want to be an archaeologist or interior designer, despite growing up in the limelight. However, those early goals changed when she dropped out of her Catholic school at age 12 to focus on acting. She made her cinematic debut shortly after, landing her first part in the 1957 movie Le Colin. Katherine was a small child when she first started working on set, innocent yet resolute. She then said that learning and tenacity via lesser assignments were the keys to success, which didn't happen immediately. These early encounters made her understand that film was a means for telling very personal tales, not simply a business. Although Katherine had a strong foundation from her creative family, her success was not entirely attributable to this. Her perseverance and independent work allowed her to forge a career that surpassed all early projections and establish herself as a timeless symbol of French cinema. At the age of 13, Katherine Denov made her acting debut in the 1957 movie Le Colin in a minor part. She was only an inquisitive small child at the time, looking for chances to grow and discover her abilities. Under the guidance of her parents, and particularly her sister Francois Dak, Katherine progressively became more involved in the film industry, starring in small parts in French productions. Although her name had not yet gained prominence, these first steps exposed her to the limelight in the professional work atmosphere. Her performance in Jacques Demy's Le Parapluie de Cherbourg, The Umbrella of Cherbourg, in 1964 was Katherine's big break. All of the language in this unusual movie was sung, making it more than simply a musical. It's interesting to note that Katherine first turned down the part because she thought her vocal skills weren't good enough. But Jacques Demy's innovative style persuaded her that her performance's capacity to evoke emotions was more important than the caliber of her voice. Katherine played Geneviève Emery in the movie, a young lady caught between duty and love. Audiences all throughout the globe were moved by the heartwarming tale of love between Geneviève and the young soldier guy. Interestingly, the film's vivid colors in each frame reflected the character's optimism, agony, and despair, while also having emotional overtones. Katherine made Geneviève a memorable character with her elegant elegance and expressive gaze. Le Parapluie de Cherbourg's extraordinary success propelled Katherine's reputation beyond of France. The movie was nominated for an Oscar and took home the Palme d'Or at the 1964 Cannes Film Festival. Surprisingly, she was hailed as the new face of European cinema by worldwide directors within weeks of its publication. Le Parapluie de Cherbourg was more than simply a career achievement. It was a watershed in Katherine Denov's reputation. She swiftly went from being a little-known teenage actress to being a representation of French refinement and beauty, a persona of depth, intrigue, and grace. This accomplishment cemented her place as one of the world's greatest movie actresses and opened the door for her legendary future roles. After making her debut in Le Parapluie de Cherbourg, Katherine Denov quickly established herself with a string of memorable parts. Every performance contributed to the mosaic that was her extraordinary career, which spanned more than 60 years. She collaborated with renowned filmmakers like Luis Buñuel, Francois Truffaut, and Roman Polanski, and her backstage tales are just as intriguing as her on-screen personas. Katherine played the role of a young lady with schizophrenia in Roman Polanski's 1965 film Repulsion. It was really difficult since she had to use very little language to portray the character's mental collapse. She once said that she was able to relate to the play strongly because of her loneliness while residing in London throughout the shooting process. Katherine achieved a significant milestone in her acting development when she transformed Repulsion into a psychological horror classic with her eerie stare and subtle facial movements. In Luis Buñuel's 1967 drama Belle de Jour, she further stretched her bounds by portraying a young housewife who leads a double life as a prostitute in the afternoon and a devoted wife by day. Katherine's portrayal of the character's internal struggle was very accurate. In addition to creating controversy because of its daring topics, the movie solidified her reputation as the personification of mysterious beauty. It's interesting to note that the Yves Saint Laurent outfits created for her role served to both highlight Katherine's dual nature and solidify her position as the designer's ultimate inspiration. Katherine's creative career peaked in the 1980s. She received the coveted César Award for her performance as Marion Steiner in L'Alerte Rouge, 1980. During World War II, Katherine was shown in the movie as a strong actress who defended her husband and their theater against Nazi rule. Her deep emotional range was on full display in the performance, which also confirmed her place as a key figure in French cinema. Indochine, 1992, in which Katherine portrayed a French lady negotiating the turmoil of colonial Vietnam, was another high point in her career. She was nominated for a coveted Academy Award for the performance, showcasing her range as an actor. Later, Katherine said that she was motivated to give the character realism and emotional nuance by the stunning scenery of Vietnam. Katherine also took up bold parts, including that of the bisexual vampire in The Hunger, 1983, a movie that attracted international Gothic notice. She demonstrated that aging could not lessen her star power by continuing to work with well-known filmmakers like Emmanuel Bercot in Standing Tall, 2015, and Lars von Trier in Dancer in the Dark, 2000. Katherine Denov has worked in the arts for 60 years, and her acting skills have been redefined by the more than 100 films she has starred in. In addition to her extraordinary skill, she is a representation of French grace and elegance. Katherine has made a lasting impression on film and as a link between art and fashion, thanks to her difficult performances and partnerships with Yves Saint Laurent. In addition to being the narrative of an actor, Katherine Denov is also the story of a woman who dared to confront prejudices and take on obstacles in order to achieve the highest level of accomplishment. She is a living example of how passion, skill, and bravery can cut over all barriers and leave an enduring legacy in the annals of international film. In addition to being a legendary character in French cinema, Katherine Denov is the subject of very dramatic and contentious personal tales. Love, sorrow, and bold decisions are all intertwined throughout her life to form a complicated but alluring picture that is reminiscent of a story. Roger Vadim was the filmmaker with whom Katherine had her first meaningful relationship. Vadim, who was about 20 years her older, fell deeply in love with her when they first met when she was only 17. In defiance of social expectations, Katherine even moved out of her family's house to live with him. Vadim offered marriage to Katherine after the birth of their son Christian, but Katherine firmly refused, saying that marriage was not for her. As soon as insurmountable problems surfaced, their relationship dissolved. Following Vadim, Katherine married British photographer David Bailey for the first time in 1965. Mick Jagger was the best man at their wedding, which attracted attention despite missing the typical romanticism. But after just a year, the marriage disintegrated. Later on, Katherine acknowledged that the opportunity to learn English was the most beneficial thing she received from the relationship. Katherine's engagement with Italian actor Marcello Mastroianni was one of her most well-known and significant partnerships. Their powerful spark swiftly blossomed into a passionate affair when they met on a movie shoot. In order to pursue Katherine, Marcello, who was previously married, even got a divorce. Despite their close relationship and daughter Chiara, Katherine turned down Marcello's proposal of marriage. Like a romance movie with an unresolved finale, their connection had a profound effect on both of them. Despite their final split, Marcello once said that Katherine was the lady he would always remember. There are also many fascinating incidents from Katherine's personal life. The alleged romance she had with Alain Delon when they were shooting Policeman, 1972 for example, was really a marketing gimmick. Later, Katherine quipped that Delon was a bad kisser and openly admitted that their affair lasted less than a month. Despite ongoing public rumors that she and actor Gérard Depardieu were romantically involved, she also had a long-standing platonic acquaintance with him. Katherine's appeal was further enhanced by rumored relationships with Clint Eastwood, Burt Reynolds, and Francois Truffaut. Their brief romance ended because of scheduling conflicts and cultural differences, although Reynolds once called her the most intelligent and fascinating woman he had ever encountered. In 2000, there were even rumors that Katherine was seeing a young technician, but she kept her usual secrecy, so the public was left to make their own assumptions. Katherine maintained a private and independent existence in spite of her many partnerships. She maintained her conviction that marriage and love shouldn't define her life after living with Pierre Lecoeur, the creator of Canal Plus Television, from 1984 until 1991. For Katherine, love meant being free from social constraints. She maintained her lasting mystery and magnetic attractiveness, in part because of her daring and determined decisions. Social issues have also been associated with Katherine's name. In a brave but controversial move, she publicly acknowledged having an illegal abortion in 1971 while signing the 343 Manifesto in support of women's autonomy. She generated further controversy in 2018 when she signed an open letter denouncing the hashtag #MeToo movement and said it had turned into a witch hunt. Although she was criticized for these positions, they also strengthened her reputation as a brave woman who wasn't hesitant to question the status quo. Katherine has established herself in business and fashion outside of the movie industry. As Yves Saint Laurent's inspiration, she donned his creations in beloved movies like Belle de Jour and remained good friends with him for many years. In 1986, in 1987, she introduced her own fragrance, Deneuve, which took home the Fifi Award. Her reputation as a versatile artist was cemented when she used her ingenuity to create jewelry, eyeglasses, shoes, and greeting cards. Katherine has also had legal issues as a public figure. She forced the San Francisco lesbian journal Deneuve to alter its name to Curve in 1995 after suing them for trademark infringement. In I Heart Huckabees, 2004, Katherine was abruptly replaced with Isabel Huppert, which is an intriguing fact. These occurrences demonstrate how complicated and fascinating her career is. Katherine's distinct attraction has been aided by her mysterious aura, prudence, and unwillingness to explicitly answer rumors. Without ever giving away too much, she has always kept a safe distance from the public to pique their interest. The tale of Katherine Deneuve is not just one of sorrow and love, but also of a woman who isn't scared to defy expectations and norms in order to establish her own value. Katherine's health issues as a result of her smoking are one less well-known part of her life. She began smoking when she was 16 years old and continued for decades, sometimes smoking up to 3 packs a day. On stage and in real life, Katherine once referred to cigarettes as a buddy, describing them as an integral part of her existence. She tried using hypnosis to stop smoking for the first time in 1985 and was able to do so for more than 10 years. But by the middle of the 1990s, she had relapsed due to psychological changes and work-related stress. In a sardonic remark that reflected her public persona, Katherine acknowledged that she felt less French when she wasn't smoking. When Katherine had a mild stroke while shooting De Son Vivant in 2019, it was a significant turning point. She had to put her career on hold and take her health seriously as a result of the catastrophe. Katherine made the decision to completely stop smoking after receiving encouragement from her family and physicians. This was a life-saving choice that allowed her to recover swiftly and keep her health steady, not merely a shift in lifestyle. In addition to being a personification of French film, Katherine Deneuve also embodies the country's social and cultural life. She was selected as the model for Marianne, France's national symbol, between 1985 and 1989. This was a one-of-a-kind accolade that honored her ageless beauty and her representation of the dignity and tenacity of French women. Her portrayal of Marianne cemented her reputation as a timeless national cultural icon in the eyes of the general people. Numerous distinguished honors have been bestowed to Katherine over her career. Her roles in Le Dernier Métro, 1980, and Indochine, 1992, earned her 2 César Awards, one of the most coveted accolades in French film. The latter made her one of the few French actresses to be recognized in Hollywood, earning her a César and an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. She was given the Lincoln Center's Chaplin Award in 2012, which honors cinematic greats. She has also received praise at important film festivals including Cannes, Venice, and Berlin, where she was acclaimed as a living creative legend in addition to winning prizes. According to Premiere Magazine's selection of the 100 best performances ever, her performance in Belle de Jour came in at number 59. This is unmistakable proof of her acting's emotional depth and transforming ability, a timeless legacy that few can equal. Katherine is a fashion and brand icon outside of the movie industry. With her distinctly French elegance, grace, and charm, she not only marketed but also enhanced Chanel No. 5 and Louis Vuitton as its ambassadors. She embodied the ideal fusion of traditional beauty and contemporary elegance with her appearance in Louis Vuitton's Tambour Horizon campaign, which stands out as one particularly memorable moment. Katherine left her effect on social activity and charity as well. She promoted women's rights and the preservation of cinematic history while serving as a UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador. She showed her everlasting dedication to moral principles in 2003, when she bravely resigned from this position to oppose Angola's candidacy of the contentious billionaire Pierre Falcone. Her remarkable career was further highlighted in 2000 when she received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Palm Springs International Film Festival. With more than 100 films to her credit and more than 60 years of experience, Katherine has molded the reputation of an actress who is not only gifted, but also very influential in a variety of fields. The legacy of Katherine Denov goes beyond honors and distinctions. She is a timeless representation of fortitude, triumphing over hardship, creative vision, and unending humanity. She is more than just a movie star. She is a living example of the human spirit's tenacity and the ability of art to uplift people of all ages. These days, Katherine Denov leads a more relaxed and leisurely existence. She used to own the Primart Estate, a secret architectural treasure surrounded by tranquil, natural beauty, and she now spends a lot of time in the French countryside. The chateau, which she had bought in 1960 at the age of 20, served as both a getaway and a storehouse of treasured family memories. She shocked the public in 2014 when she sold the home for $5.4 million. She has an estimated net worth of $30 million now, mostly from her lucrative business endeavors and her acting career. Katherine has spent many hours reading, gardening, and enjoying the peaceful charms of rural France in recent years. Although she now chooses parts carefully and only takes on films with depth and compelling stories, her love of movies has not diminished. Her portrayal of a great actress facing her past in The Truth, 2019, was one of her most notable recent roles. Many people believe that the performance is a representation of Katherine herself, strong, mysterious, and fearless in the face of adversity. Katherine continues to have a significant impact on fashion and art, in addition to her lasting presence on film. She continues to appear at important fashion events as Yves Saint Laurent's lifelong muse, reinforcing her classic appeal and legendary position. Today, Katherine Denov is more than just a representation of French film. She is a living example of tenacity and creativity. She has shown that genuine riches is found in one's way of life and the precious legacy one leaves behind, not in material belongings, via her modest yet very significant existence. Katherine is more than simply a symbol of French film. She is a living example of fortitude, tenacity, and the will to overcome hardship. She has experienced every emotion, happiness, grief, and recovery, from the glittering limelight of the movie industry to her own personal traumas. For more than 60 years, she has been able to survive and shine brilliantly in a constantly evolving field because to her indisputable skill, undying love for the arts, and uncompromising independence. Challenges have not vanquished Katherine Deneuve. Rather, they have given her iconic picture more nuance. Her life is a tale of tenacity and reinvention. Her career is a monument to her tenacity and unwavering dedication to her work, going well beyond memorable roles or partnerships with outstanding designers. When considering her path, it is important to consider not just her accomplishments, but also how she has influenced future generations. What most strikes you about Katherine Deneuve's remarkable life is because she doesn't just relate her narrative. She lets us identify with it, a desire to push limits, live courageously, and embrace passion. Let us know what you think in the comments section below, and remember to press like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming films as we continue to explore more motivational tales. I appreciate you viewing, and I hope to see you again soon.